How are we all feeling? Great. All right. Okay. Yep. Can you all hear me properly? All right. So we are here with four great investors, and we are going to be talking about the venture capital opportunities in Web3, specifically in Vietnam. Over the past few years, we've seen a lot of uptake in the kind of projects, specifically in the decentralized infrastructure space, DeFi, data infrastructures, grow a lot overall in Vietnam. And we have a lovely panel here to discuss the questions and go more deep into the opportunities and the feedback that startups can get right now. So yeah, gents, why don't you guys introduce yourself? And but before that, I'm Arhat. I'm the partner at Primal Capital. We are an early stage investor, investing in pre-seed, seed stage rounds in almost all sectors within Web3. So yeah, up to you, Zeb.
Hi everyone, there we go. Yeah, so my name is Zeb. I've been in crypto for the last 11 years, mainly as a crypto researcher and also as the grant lead for Balancer and worked with infrastructure providers as well. For this week, I'm actually here more to look for Vietnamese projects because there are so many great ones, to work more together and be more here in Vietnam to help projects further. So if you are one of those projects and you have something interesting, please talk to me later.
Hey guys, this is Zane, co-founder and CEO of Kairos Ventures. Joined crypto in 2016, starting a media company focusing in Vietnamese language, educating Vietnamese people about crypto early stage. And then 2020, we started Kairos Ventures, supporting Vietnamese builder go global and also be in the gateway for international friends when they come to Vietnam. So yeah, I mean, we invested in Web3 for years and 50% of that coming from Vietnam. So very happy to be in this panel and share whatever I can share.
Yeah, hello everyone. So my name is Lý Bảo Nguyên. So I'm the Deputy CEO of SI Digital, the digital arm of SSI, the largest stock market company in Vietnam. So basically we having the ventures with 200 million US dollar. Besides that, we also focusing in investing in Web3, and right now we are preparing for the legal framework, and everything is ready for that. And I hope that we can be the one who support the Vietnam startup to go global. Yeah, thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Thao. I'm the general founder partner at Vayman Capital. We are actually a quantitative trading fund and not technically a venture capital. So I guess I'm here to talk more about how liquid and secondary market behave when companies go for secondary listing and stuff. And we do have a ventures arm, so to say. But unfortunately, opposite to Zane's and Kairos, 90% of our portcos are not Vietnamese. So I'm here and looking forward to changing that as well.
I think we can change that portfolio after this talk. Let's see. Let Zane convince you. But all right, so interesting facts. So I had a panel yesterday and we spoke a lot about the emerging talent that Vietnam has. Strong talent pool, around 50,000 STEM graduates in the US, coming back. Yeah, sorry. So Vietnam, summary, Vietnam has a strong talent pool, and a lot of great government initiatives as well. You see the Nang government being so active here with the Super Vietnam as well. So how does this how does this metrics factor into your decision making while looking into investments right now? How important is a strong talent pool, a strong team, and the government initiatives to support it? And what advice would you give, and what insights and analysis can you guys share with us right now? Let's start with Zain. Yeah.
So before I answer this question, I want to explain why half of my portfolio is Vietnamese. We did invest a lot in gaming 2020, 21. And one of the first gaming investment we made was on My Neighbor Alex and then Mines of Delania was very successful one. And then we bet heavily on gaming. And during 2020, 21, with the wave of Axie Infinity, a Vietnamese startup, a lot of studio in Vietnam kind of like follow route the path of Sky Mavis, and trying to having the replicate the success. So yeah, we did support a lot of like Vietnamese builders, but for now, I guess like the factors that we do consider when we invest in startup in Web3, it actually changed a lot in the last few years. Most of the time, like 4 or 5 years ago, we care only about narrative, and revenue wasn't a thing, and not many startups back there have real revenue. Right now, we do see Vietnamese startup just as the same as non-Vietnamese startup. It's just naturally easier for us to bonding more with Vietnamese founder. We do want to spend more time with Vietnamese founder like offline at personal level before we make investment. During the good time in the market, everything moves so fast that maybe sometimes you might make the wrong decision, or you might not be spending enough time with the founders. But for us, like in the last few years, we care a lot about the Vietnamese startup because generally we have a high, people call us a nation. We have a lot of coders, but we don't have a lot of builders. But a lot of like builders here, they want to build something meaningful. So we be local, support a lot of them. Yeah, it's just very natural. We don't actually like have a strong thesis that we bet on. It's just that we basically bet on the founder more, and we spend more time with the Vietnamese founder. That's why we invested more in Vietnamese startup.
What about you, Seb?
I think the last thing you said there was actually very Vietnamese, to bet more on the personal connection. I've been in Vietnam for the last 7 to 8 years, and I would say it has definitely changed. I do remember indeed gaming being by far the biggest thing here for builders. And recently, I would say things have changed. The people I talk to, they create way more diverse things now. And Vietnam is often seen as a low wage, but also low quality code place, but that is changing. And especially now that we also have AI to help people code, I can actually foresee that with all the endless amount of devs here that are studying and then being led wild into crypto, combine that with AI and coding, I can see that really grow very, very large. So yeah, I'm very positive actually about the future of crypto projects in Vietnam.
What do you think about the government initiatives? You've stayed here for 7 years. What are your insights?
Yeah, sure. So that has also come and go. I've heard about a lot of government initiatives here, but right now there are, again, a lot of them. I think when it comes to government regulations, and especially around crypto, not a lot of people really know what's going to happen. Maybe actually you, because you were talking about it in your intro, that you are talking directly with the government, so maybe you can say more there. Yeah. What do you think about the government regulations here in Vietnam and how that's changing? Is it finally becoming really a thing?
No, actually, I don't think that I can tell you a lot about this because everything is rumor right now, and oncoming and coming. There's not confirmation or final right now.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
We can say that, the government is care about, the market, care about the users, and definitely everything will come, like other countries. So I think that Yeah, Vietnam have the good market. You know, maybe top five, you know, for crypto, and besides that, most of the chain or the global products right now have the dev team in Vietnam. I can see that. So, you know, this is not something that you know come easily. So we have to, you know, like doing something for education. You can see that internet is everywhere in Vietnam. Wi-Fi, you can find it easily. So we hope that, you know, Vietnam will be the country that have the good technology, and besides that, good education for technology, and and up. So that's bring the very high rate of blockchain adoption, everything combined, and it become like that. So I think that not AI, but blockchain will be the one who transform Vietnam. So, you know, for my viewpoint. Thank you.
Of course, of course. What about you, Tan? What about the talent pool and the initiatives?
I can't really comment on the regulation framework because I'm a brown Vietnamese, but I just relocated back a short while ago, so Zeb is more Vietnamese than me. So that's, we're still trying to find out the landscape. The reality of things is that Vietnam as a position and as an edge in Southeast Asia, or let alone Asia, is very unique. Relative value code versus wage is actually quite high. Yes, it's still lower quality, but compared to Indonesia, Singapore, the code quality versus wage is still quite an interesting place to be. So we actually very good value for money. Now, to compare ourselves with Singapore and Hong Kong, we don't have the capital necessary to push the local forward. So we're still relying a lot on outside capital to come in to push Vietnamese capital and startup scenes to be at the forefront of things. So we do have those challenges, but we have a growing population who are getting more and more in tune with crypto, and it's not perceived as a GameFi 2022 kind of scam anymore, and then people expect themselves to spend money and like to be more skin in the game and to take part of this as a movement. So because of that, and because of where we are in terms of talent, in terms of education, and in terms of having a lot of young population who are willing to take more risks and be educated a little bit more and more, I'm excited to see what Vietnam has to offer for both AI and blockchain.
No, that's a good answer. And that's a very good point, mentioning about the risks and whatnot. So coming to the next question, like while investing, what do you guys, like what are some of the risks that you guys assess a lot? And given that you've been out in the space for so long, like what's your assessment like? What's your thinking and assessment strategy like for all the risks that come with investing in this very new projects in Web3, especially in Vietnam? Let's start with you, Thao.
We have a very strong focus on the people itself. Not to say that there's a lot of people, I mean, people by nature are good. I am a strong believer of that. But there's a lot of temptations, especially given by the environment that people are still expecting to make like a fortune in a short period of time. So those are not the one that we will support. We have like a lot of POCO that actually went through a very difficult period and then make a breakthrough. And those are the one that we are placing very high bets on. So first of all is the people, not so much on what are they currently doing, more on like what will we feel like we can do together. There's a lot of good founders in Vietnam that are very persistent with what they do, but unfortunately what they are persisting on doing and what they are committed to do, and not something that we can feel like we are 100% support, or we can feel that we can work together. So those are a little bit out of our capability.
Tao, could I ask you, because you started with saying that you do not have a lot of Vietnamese projects in your portfolio, right? What would you need to see more? Maybe that's a good question now. Like, what do you want to see more for Vietnamese projects?
That's a really, really good point. One important thing is that Vietnamese founder tend to have like a very solid idea about what they want to build, and they take a little bit of time to get there. Our background is trading shops, so, and especially we are in HFT. So we are more willing to work with founders who iterate really fast. You build fast, you go to market, fail, no problem. We can sponsor you to try another time. So that's our style. We are not committed to, okay, I'm gonna build this one thing that's gonna change the world. We committed to helping builders who iterate and try things out, and it's like, oh, this is not what the world wants. Let's build another thing that the world may want. And then we are more, although this seems like a higher failure count, but actually it leads to better success overall. So these are the specific things that I don't find in Vietnamese founder that much as compared to other one. Another thing is that we are super technical, so we can read your code quite well. So if your code is a template of what's already been done, and just with a few modifications, especially this ratio coming out of Vietnam is super high, because we have a lot of outsourcing house, we have a lot of dev shops. So this kind of thinking is like, oh, I love this thing, but it's missing this feature, so let me build another thing based on this thing, but with 2 new features and launch it at a protocol. We don't really like that. So it's not that you cannot build on a successful one. Every giant stand on the shoulder of every other giants before them. So we are fully supportive of that methodology, but just not that you fork an entire thing and then you add 2 things and then you try to raise. So yeah, those are the 2 things that we're missing from Vietnamese projects.
Do you have another question, Zeb?
No, not a question, but I agree with the pace. Like, I've lived in Hanoi for 3 years, and what do they say there? Hanoi không vội được đâu. Like, no hurry. That is true. Yeah, Vietnamese people, they have their own time, and I really like it, but it is different than international teams. That's true. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so actually for my viewpoint, so I do agree with you, because right now I think that for the developed Web3 products, so everything come back to the traditional already. So, you know, like not like before, people can raise fund for, you know, a pitch deck. Right now we can see that the product have to very real, and besides that is need to be, you know, revenue generation, right? Need to generate for the revenue, and you know, like for my viewpoint, you know, everything have to come to be like that. No, not like before. So there's the nonsense market for me. Yeah. So, you know.
Just make money, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What was you saying?
I think Vietnamese builder usually not really vocal and expressive enough as well. Most of the time, they are so bullish on what they're building without much, you know, like validation outside. I do see a lot of teams just, you know, they are building that, we can build the same, and then they just ship whatever they think it makes sense for the community without knowing that the community or the user want it or not. And then I would say that, like, because like it's because we have so much coder and not much of builder. We need better UX. we need better standard of UX, we need better standard of design, and we need better pitch as well. For just, since 2017, when it comes to number of projects that in Vietnam that, like you can consider like higher market cap than 1 billion, there's not many. It's just a few, but for a long, long time. So I would say that Vietnam need a lot more, support from the government, a lot more like mentorship from the one that succeed first, a lot more support from, organization, or a lot more of this, right, where they can talk to international players to know that where they are actually are, where actually at. Yeah, that's on Vietnam. And then I guess also for us, we do care a lot. We are very conservative in terms of valuation as well. Yeah, so
Who's
most of
not?
the time we invest way more earlier than the bull market. Yeah.
Got it, got it. No, everyone's sensitive with valuation nowadays, so why not? So yeah, like I think there were good points made by Zain and all of you guys, but one of them that really stood out was, VC is definitely something, that's shaping up the whole space in how, founders look at the market, the kind of insights they get, overall in what they're building, the feedback that they get. So like given, like, Zain, you are on both sides of the plate, like you are a founder as well, you run Kairos, Thao, you have a good portfolio yourself. So like, what insights would you give or like, to founders right now based on your own portfolio and, to build something new in Vietnam, like some success stories from your portfolios, failure stories as well, anything. Yeah?
Yeah, I have the. I'm on both sides.
Yeah,
And
you're a great
I
founder.
I do agree that it's way harder to build than to invest. I mean, like when you invest, it's very easy for you to lose money. But then, uh, yeah, it's the best place to lose money right now in this market. When you don't know how to ape and all the meme coin, it just perform better than all your portfolio. Uh,
But apart from your own company, like you have so many portfolio companies, like what are some success stories
uh,
that you can share?
I guess like my portfolio, I wouldn't say I'm super proud of my portfolio, but I'm more proud on my like collective of people that we built from Kairos. We don't actually call ourselves a VC. I'm shy when I call myself a VC. Our size is not size. And, we do a lot of stuff. We have media, we have, events like GM Vietnam. And we just consider ourselves as more like a launchpad of people. And we did incubate a lot of, founder coming out from Kairos alumni, becoming founder. And we do support, and I don't think that will go with me for forever, but I know that, the valuation of Kairos might not be like billion, but the whole network value where all the people coming from Kairos becoming founder. So we have, founder of Say Trace, the Explorer of Say, and Cosmos Hub. And then we have founder of ActionX, and then we have the founder of other games on, got investment from Coinbase and stuff. Yeah.
Who's the founder of Ancient Date?
Myself and another person. Yeah. So yeah, and then we also keep just incubating people in that way. And that's probably the thing that I'm most proud of right now, rather than the portfolio, any specific company portfolio.
What about you, Thao? Do you have anything to add?
I mean,
Let me
are you
repeat.
looking for like particular stories or like?
No,
Because
anything.
for most of the things that we put money in, we hope them to be success stories to begin with. So I'm confused by these questions.
No, but Eric, you would have had any, you would have had some instances where you're like, okay, this is a founder where I really like, they have built something really great and they have executed everything from top to bottom perfectly. Let's say, tokenomics, go-to-market strategy.
I'm looking at my team who's trying to say something, and then I can tell you guys. Huh? Tensor. Okay. We like Tensor guy. One thing that Tensor from Solana, like used to be the NFT biggest thing, and then when NFT dies, they become the meme biggest thing. And then now that meme dies, they are brewing something that I cannot disclose yet. But this is a perfect example of how, if you are a strong enough founder, you don't need the market to move in your favor. When market move, I really like founders who can accept that the market has moved and move on. Because in trading, this is the same as managing your risk. So instead of like banking your entire runway onto some narrative coming back, you should be able to manage your position, cut the loss, and move on, and then to catch the next wave. So a lot of the conversation I have with Elliot and Richard when they want to pivot to meme coins is that they are respected in Solana NFT community as the Robin Hood of this movement. So they build like an extremely good platform, and then they cater for traders who are there to not only trade like a small thing and flip. They cater for the bigger guys who hold like 1-2% of the collections and be there. So when they wanted to pivot, one of the biggest thing wasn't the technology for them, wasn't the narrative for them, wasn't the narrative. The biggest thing is actually they don't want to lose that image of themselves within the community that supported them and they promised to be there. So the biggest thing was, how do I communicate this in a way that solidify that we are here, but we are also growing. So that we spend a lot of time on that. And then when they do come out with the announcement, and they onboard user one by one until it become a public thing, I think they executed that very well and with very strong focus and commitment. So the new product was well supported again by the same community that used to support them. So yeah, there's a lot of things that went right with Tensor, but under the surface there was a lot of things that went wrong, and they are one of our closest POCO, just because they are not afraid to ask for help. I think for a lot of VCs, when we write our check, we not only want to give you money, we want to give you our support. And a lot of the projects do not know how to reach out for support. So they assume that we are a quantitative trading fund. So anything outside of tokenomics and trading and valuation, they don't reach out. But actually the ones that we are super close to are the ones who reach out for like random things and like for things like I just told you, no one would expect an HFT to firm to be there and like talk to them. So these are the things that I feel like we're gonna be there for them, they're gonna be there for us. This kind of relationship that we want to replicate in almost every portfolio company. Like if you build something nice, I may not agree with that narrative right now, but it doesn't mean that we're not gonna support your next one. So if you build something fun or if you want to have an idea, just talk to us, and then especially the one here, we are fully ready to deploy, but maybe not at this stage. So yeah, talk to us more. Talk to us more. That's all.
No, that was a very, very good answer. Thank you so much for that. All right. I want to go into like more specific question right now, and I want to target Zeb right now for that. I've been told you have a very deep experience with DeFi governance, and you spent so much time understanding the space. You've also spent a lot of time in research as well. So, what are your thoughts, analysis on on-chain Web3 governance building up, and what would you share with us right now?
Yeah, sure. I've participated in a lot of DAOs. I was part of the first index co-op DAO and also helped kickstart the first sub-DAO of Balancer. And I've seen a lot of different governance structures as a researcher. A lot of them, to be honest, just don't really work yet. I think that with blockchain, we have been able to solve the double spend problem, but not necessarily human coordination. That is still definitely unsolved. And when it comes to governance right now, I think a lot of DAOs are, in the end, just backdoor deals being made. So a lot of people are also being tired of on-chain governance. However, I do think that if we want to create uncensorable data or uncensorable money, we need a structure that is uncensorable, and therefore you need something like a DAO. If it's just a company, a government could shut it down. So we do need DAOs. I'm quite interested in things like futarchy that is happening on Solana. I have my doubts about it, but it's at least cool that it's happening. And I would say, generally for any project out there, if you are thinking about launching a token, which basically all projects do because they want to make money, if you do, of course, this token should have some utility, and one of the things people choose often is governance, because it's an easy one to do. However, if you have a governance token, it has to have value, because if your governance token is very low in value, you can be subject to attacks. So one of the things that I would suggest to anyone out there building is really do, well, like these two gentlemen were also saying, make sure that there's revenue, and that it's attached to the token that is also the governance token, so that there is value and that people actually want it. And a last tip actually would be, not everything needs a token. So a lot of people out there are building products, and I think you can just launch a permissionless V1 of your product, earn fees directly to your company, never need a token anyway, you got your dev team that is building it. And then when you have a V2, you launch the V2 permissionlessly. Again, no need for DAO governance at all. But if you are not just creating a simple product, but you're creating a platform where you will have a lot of different projects and stakeholders, then it starts to make sense to actually have a DAO where people can come together and think about it and work it out. And then, then you need to really look into mechanisms that are very transparent. Actually, A16Z, just a couple days ago, they wrote a whole blog where they were talking about that people should leave the foundations behind and just have developer companies. And if you are just building a product, I would say yes, that is what you should be doing.
Okay, all right. Those are some good insights, and I wish we could speak more on that. And I do agree with a lot of points on that. Not everything that needs a token. Permissionless is good enough for a lot of things.
One more thing, actually.
Right.
Also, if you launch a token, you suddenly have a whole community you have to deal with that all want the token to go up. So if you launch a token, also here in Vietnam, where it's a lot about community, as a founder, it also means a headache.
Yeah.
So maybe don't.
All right. So no more airdrop farming for a lot of projects to come out. All right. So I think, we are out of time. Thank you so much for sitting in and listening to us talk about everything that we talked about. And thank you, Zeb, Zain, Bao, and Thao, for sharing your insights here. And thank you so much, guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you.